Hey guys, I'm Chef D-Max. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today, we're gonna be making tacos from sausage and peppers. How great is that? Super simple. You can do it at home with your family. Click subscribe if you're not doing that. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and ring that bell and I'll have more stuff coming to you. So I see you back in a second with sausage and pepper tacos. Okay guys, here I've got some beautiful corn tortillas. Now you can just buy corn tortillas from your grocery store, from your Mexican grocery store. These corn tortillas we made, you can click up here to see how to make a fresh corn tortilla from scratch at home. Not as hard as you think. It's actually really easy. It's fun to do with the kids and you might want to try it sometime. If not, you can buy it from the store and just use those. One of the secrets though, if you go to your local kind of Mexican or grocery store, a lot of times you'll look around and they won't have they'll have tortillas sitting out, but the best corn tortillas, usually they'll have fresh ones handmade from a local place that they keep behind the cash register in a big igloo cooler and a big cooler that keeps them warm. So every day the tortilla factories usually bring in warm tortillas and then people buy it like that. So make sure you ask for the warm, fresh tortillas, the corn tortillas when you're there. So, or if you like flour tortillas, you can use those as well. So with this, I'm going to start this dish off with some onions. So I'm going to take my onion, I'm going to cut the ends off like this. I'm warming my pan up there so it's nice and hot when I throw these onions in there. We're going to start to get it going quick, right? But I want to peel the onion. So, you know, one of the things you'll notice is that we do a lot of recipes with onions, right, as a base. So you want to know how to cut an onion, right? And you're going to use that every day and everything you do, cutting an onion, pretty much. So what I'm going to do is I want to dice these by cutting straight down like this. See that? Straight down. And then we're going to go sideways. Now, when you're going sideways, you're kind of going at your fingers, so you want to tilt down a little. So, and you want to be very gentle when you're slicing through. Don't make sure you don't like push it into your skin, right? So you want to just go slow, angled down, and pay attention, right? Don't be watching TV at the same time. Whoops. Okay, so here we go. We're going to cut these straight down like this. Now what I'm going to do is let me put a little oil in here. This is just some grapeseed oil. I don't want like a very I don't need an olive oil or something like that. You can see that's hot, right? This is perfect. That's what I want it to be. So we've got our onions here. Okay, and I'm just going to chop those up like that. I don't want to waste any of this onion. And then I'm going to do the same with these. Cut it straight down. And that's going to make this the mince. You see how nice those look? So I'm going to finish the rest of this and get it in my pan so this can continue to saute nicely. So we don't want to burn it, but we do want to like get a good sear on these onions, okay? So got my onions here. A few of them fell out there. Beautiful. Let me turn this pan down just a little bit, okay? I'm going to throw a little bit more oil in there, okay? And I'm going to put a little salt. We can re-season it after, and pepper. Not too much pepper because we're going to add some bell pepper. So here I have bell pepper. We're going to cut the walls of this down like this. See that? Like this. All right? And then I cut the end here like this too. So what we end up with is really nice peppers that I'm going to cut this pith out. You see how it is? I lay it flat and I come back and cut it like this. You see? So all of this is really kind of acidic and watery, and then we've got the nice flesh here, and that's what we're looking for. So same with this one. Boom. So this, now I'm going to put a little bit, grab a little water to put in this. Okay, I grabbed a little water, and I want to put a little water, and what that water is going to do is going to keep it from burning. See how it's brown there? So what you do to make a nice caramelized onions is you add a little water to it and scrape the pan. That way your pan doesn't burn. And you take all of the brown that happened in there from the sugars in these onions caramelizing in this pan, and you scrape it, and you're going to make almost like this brown sauce kind of to go with it, right? That's called caramelizing onions. And that's how you make like French onion soup and those kind of things. You just let the onion saute. It's going to get brown again, and we're going to add more water to that. So that's working, and we're going to go here and finish these peppers. So here we're cutting the pith out. So when you do that, you want to press flat on the knife and just shake it back and forth over this. So see that? So we get this part of the pepper comes off, but it leaves a nice skin. And then we're going to come and we're going to chop it one way like this, and then we're going to come the other way and chop it like that. So what we end up with is diced peppers, right? I got to cut all the way through it though. That's the most important part. All right, now we're going to stick these in here, and they're going to start to cook with those onions. Now, you could, like a lot of times you guys will want to julienne like peppers like this, and you could do like a long thin strip. The only thing is in the taco, it's kind of nice sometimes to have the peppers and onions be diced. It's a little easier to eat. Sometimes when you're eating a taco and you have kind of long strands of something, they kind of pull when you're trying to eat them. So basically you get like one big strand of pepper in one bite of the taco, and then you get none of it in the rest. So that's why I always like cutting up the ingredients a little bit for a taco like this. So again, just julienning like this into strips, right? Like this, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna cut it hard this way, like this, and now we end up with a beautiful dice, and that dice is gonna go right in here, okay? Looks like it's doing pretty well here. See that? Now see how it's getting brown right here? You want to just scrape that with your wooden spoon here. And then if it gets too brown, you add a little bit of water. Not tons of water, just enough to deglaze it, right? The peppers are going to start to give off a little water of their own too. So they're going to add water, and the onions have water in them too. The sugar that's in both of those things is going to caramelize. So let me just do the rest of this really quick. So peppers, julienne, and then go back the other way and dice them. Then we're going to add in our Italian sausage to this. Now, why are we doing Italian tacos? Well, why not? So it just shows you can put anything in a taco. Taco shells is a great vessel for anything. So I happen to have some sausage in my refrigerator, and I want to use it up. So I'm going to put my onions and peppers that have been sauteing here to the side. And then I'm going to put a little bit more oil in the center. Okay? And I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut the skin off of this. You see how I just cut the skin like this and take the meat of these out of the casing that they're in, like this, right? Because I want the meat. I don't want like hot dog style slices or sausage style slices, right? I just want the beautiful meat that's in there. So we're going to throw this casing away. I'm just cutting this, and I'm going to take out the beautiful sausage inside, right, like this, and throw the casing away. Now, you could flavor this casing like with other Mexican spices, but I would say I use a spicy one already. So it's got just some basic simple spices like oregano in there. Now the oregano and fennel you'll find in Mexican cooking anyway, especially oregano, right? So you don't need to really add any spices. And we're going to probably just use a fresh salsa we made, which I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to let this start to cook. I'm going to clean up my board because it does have a little pork on there, and we'll be right back. Okay, now we're back, and I'm just going to take this sausage here and just kind of press it like this. What we want to do is just break it up. You can see it's getting seared, right, nicely, which is what we want. And then we want to just break it up and cook it with these onions and peppers. So I'm going to take these onions and peppers, move it together with this, and the sausage gets broken up. And we want to cook the pork until it's fully cooked. So that's going to take a few minutes. Super simple. You guys see how that works there. Now when it's raw like this, it doesn't want to break up as easy, right? Because it's holding the tendons of itself together with, you know, the fat meat that's there. So let it cook for a second. And while we're doing that, we're going to have some accoutrements for this. So cabbage is a nice one always. And cabbage with pork and peppers, all that, do really well together. So I'm going to cut this super thin and just julienne that. Now you can do this on a mandolin if you wanted to do that too. But like this is going to be plenty, right? Thinly sliced, beautiful cabbage, okay? And then I'm going to take a little bit of radish. Now the radish I cut in half like this, so they're more bite-sized pieces. And then I'm going to just slice those too. So I just kind of rock my knife back and forth and hold my fingers under it. And I want kind of really paper thin little half wheels of radish. And that's what we have here, see? Like that. So beautiful. Okay, I've got some cilantro here. Beautiful, right? I have some red, I've got some red some red onion here. This is pickled red onion. So red onion that I've just put with vinegar, half water, a tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of sugar, like cup of vinegar, cup of, you know, maybe a couple onions, cup of water, cup of vinegar, tablespoon of sugar, tablespoon of salt, and let it just marinate in the fridge for a couple days, right? And it's going to get really nice. So now my pork's starting to easily break up because the meat's getting cooked, okay? And that's what we want to do. We want to continue to cook it like this, okay? And break it up. And it's cooking together with the peppers. It's going to be nice flavor. Now you could use this with ground meat as well. If you prefer to do ground meat, you could do that. I just happen to have Italian sausages, but it works great with ground meat as well. So here I've got an avocado, right? Nice, beautiful avocado. So you can see with avocado like this, once we do it like that, I'm just going to take it and cut little strips and cut into the avocado like that, right? And then I'm going to cut it in half and then peel it down like this. So, or you can scoop it out with a spoon. Probably the easiest way to do that. But basically, you're going to want like little thin strips, right, of avocado. So, I've got my little thin strips of avocado right here, right? I'm going to pick a little bit of lemon juice or lime juice right now on there. And I want to put a little salt on there. I always like to season my avocados like this. So I don't, you know, definitely want to put some acidity on there so they don't turn color if it's just sitting here for a minute. I mean, if it's here for a few minutes, it's fine. But if you're not going to use it for like 20, 30 minutes, you definitely want to put, some acidity, some lemon or lime, like this, so it doesn't turn brown, and a little salt, so we'll get a nice flavor, okay? So, we've got cabbage, radish, avocado. We have red onions, pickled red onions, beautiful flavors, right? So now all we need to do is finish up our pork. It's still almost cooked medium, I think. There's some pieces that are not ready yet. And I'm just breaking these up, right? I don't really, I mean, we can have some medium-sized chunks. You don't have to have all this to be like ground pork. This isn't about like making this like it's ground meat, right? It doesn't have to be, because having a little chunk of pork is fine, but it needs to all be cooked. And this isn't all cooked yet. It needs another minute or two of sauteing. So let's continue to cook this for 2 or 3 minutes. We'll be back and plate this up. Okay, guys, it's been a couple minutes. Now my pork looks like it's fully cooked. Take a look at this. You see how we have like nice little chunks of pork in there? But you've got the beautiful onions and peppers that have been cooked with it. It's seasoned nicely with salt. I love the flavor of the onion and the pepper on there. It's done. I'm going to turn this off now. We're just going to let that simmer and be warm. We're going to dress this plate. So here we have got some 2 tacos. These are like I said, these are little street-sized tacos. I've made these myself. We're going to put a little cabbage down first for crunch and freshness, right? And I'm going to take a spoonful of our sausage in here and peppers. Let me take some extra pepper and onion. Look at that. Beautiful, right? So these beautiful pieces of sausage in there. There's like, you know, nice 3 or 4 pieces of sausage in each taco, right? Nice spoonful of peppers and onions, right? And let's finish this off with some freshness. I have some beautiful radish for spice, right? And kind of beautiful flavor from the garden. And then we've got some pickled red onions. So I've got a couple of pickled red onions in each. Those are always nice. The acidity from the pickled red onion is much better than a raw onion on this. And then with this, I'm just going to put half of this quarter of avocado on there like this, right? Oh, so good. Put a few cilantro leaves on there like this. And you could even just chop cilantro and put it right in your pork if you want. So that's beautiful. Look at that, right? Now, we're not done yet. The last piece of this is our salsa. So if you click up here to the left here, you'll see, or you're right, there'll be some salsa that I've made. If you want to buy salsa, you can buy salsa. I just think if you're going to go through the mess of making everything really nice, why shouldn't your salsa be nice too? So I would definitely make a nice salsa. Take a look at this beautiful cooked salsa. This is one that we did with tomatoes, peppers, onions, garlic, and it's fantastic. And when it's cooked like that, it's not a watery salsa you would dip chips into. It's more of a saucing salsa. So it's drier, it's been roasted in the oven and then mixed. And so it doesn't have a lot of wateriness, so it's not going to get your tacos soggy. So what you're looking for is that, the beauty of that, okay? And then the best way we can tell if it's any good is to try it out, right? And what I love about a street taco is that they're mouth size. That's delicious. Wow. Make sure to try this salsa recipe. Super great. Sausage and peppers. Like I said, you can use ground meat, onions, peppers, and hamburger meat. That's fine as well. Taco shells. You can also check out my recipe for those. Or just buy corn tortillas at the grocery store. Really simple. Taco night for your family. Taco Tuesday. Make sure you do it. Try it out. I'm Chef D Max. Hope you enjoyed the kitchen today, and I'll see you back soon.